Hello and welcome to Sandwell Junction. Today we are going to be weathering an Art Deco signal box. We're just going to open the box here and have a look. It's a very detailed model, as you can see. The model itself is made from some kind of ceramic, plaster I should think. There are some very nice details on here, such as the doors here. We also have a door at the end as well. This door, when we weather it, we are going to make it incredibly rusty and disused. We've also got very nice window detailing here, with lintels at the bottom and the top. So, let's get on with the weathering. To weather the signal box, we will be using these products. We have some Humbrol matte coat. We have some Humbrol mascol. We also have a dust wash and a black wash by Humbrol. For the rust colours, we'll be using these Reeves soft pastels rather than using weathering powders. I find it's a much cheaper alternative. Okay, first things first. We are going to put on some Humbrol matte coat to protect the underlying paintwork. So we're just going to give this a very healthy coat of matte coat here. Don't be shy to get it on. Just get it all over the paintwork like that. And this will help protect the underlying colour, because the last thing we want is to ruin that. Now the matte coat has dried, we are going to add some Humbrol mascol onto the doors and windows here. This is so we don't get excess wash or weathering powders on areas such as the windows and doors, which you don't really want covered. Have to make sure you've got a healthy dollop of mascol on here. While the mascol dries there on the signal box, I'm just going to use some of these Reeves soft pastels, and I'm going to mix them up in here to create some rust coloured weathering powders. So after one unsuccessful attempt, I am now going to try and mix these powders together to form an acceptable rust colour. I did do one take beforehand and it all just turned into one horrible mush. So let's try again and see if I can get something half decent. So I'm just going to take some of this brown here. I'm going to flip this across over here. Get the brown out. So we've got some brown in there. And the trick is apparently not to fully mix the colours. So you want a bit of separation between the colours. Quite a bit of orange. Little bit of red. A little bit of yellow. And we'll go for this really horrible yellow as well, a little bit of that in there. And I'll also put a tiny bit of black over here, just if I need to darken the colour at all. And I might even put a spot of white in here as well, just so I can change the shade if needs be. So I'm just going to put the white this side, it'll be easier. Okay. Now let's try and blend these, see if we can get a half decent colour. And like I said before, you don't want to fully mix them because you do want some variation in colour. You don't want it all to be the same. Okay, that's not too bad. We're going to add a little bit more red in over here. And I think a little bit more orange as well. So just going to mix that in there. And we'll have a bit more orange this side, I think. Excellent. And a spot more brown, I think. So there we go. We've got varying shades there, which we can apply in different ways and see how that works. Okay, so now our mascol is more or less dry. It's not fully dry, but it's acceptable enough to start adding our washes. I've already added a little bit of dust wash here. So I'm just going to do some more on the back here and we'll see what effect we can get with that. The idea is, with the dust wash especially, is to pick out the spots of mortar between the bricks here. And it should look a little bit better and a bit more used, maybe a little bit older. So let's just try and add in some spots here. So we can be quite liberal, we don't have to be scared of applying it, because what we can do afterwards is use some thinners and a cotton wool bud to get rid of any excess wash. And of course we do have to think about certain places where dust will accumulate, especially these sills here. So I'm quite happy that's naturally running down there. Okay, so we've got this one section here, just going to give it a quick wipe like that. And any excess, it can be taken away, so it's not an issue. You can be quite liberal, you don't have to be scared of putting it on. So it's quite good. So now I've gone over the entire thing with dust wash. I've gone over quite heavily in certain places. However, on the front here, I have gone a little bit heavier than I perhaps wanted. So what I will do is I'll get some thinners and a cotton bud and wipe some of this away, so that'll be fine. However, in other places, such as on the roof here, and anywhere where grime will generally collect, I have gone quite heavy. On the back here will certainly be heavy because this will be covered in moss and all sorts by the time I'm finished. This will be all dirty and horrible. And I think I might even try my hand at some graffiti, pop some graffiti on there, and perhaps on here, maybe a little bit over the door as well. I think that would look quite good. So you can be quite liberal with it and don't be too scared, because any mistakes that you do make can be later rectified. I've just put a spot of black wash in here. I'm going to thin it down, however, because I really want it to be quite diluted. I really don't want a great deal of black wash on my building, so I have to thin it right down. So if you can see here, just get the metal out of the way, I really have diluted it quite a lot. I've been working in some black wash here, and you can see I've just highlighted various areas where I'd like it. I'm using a very, very diluted black wash here. And I'm literally just adding it in sporadic areas where you may have various muck and grime coming down. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to allow gravity to do the work for me, because I'd like it to seep into the brickwork. We're not going to have it perfect. It's going to be bits and bobs here and there where it's not quite clean, as it were. So I'm just going to rub that down now, and that will help pick out the brickwork. As you can see down here, I've already done a little bit, so I'm just going to blend that in a bit more. So you can imagine in the days when the line passing the signal box may have been steam, this would be remnants perhaps of that era. I think that's quite acceptable. I've now completed the dust wash and the black wash. I've used quite a lot of enamel thinners to take away the excess of what parts I didn't actually want, because there's quite a bit of it. I've cleaned the front up quite a lot. I've also taken the maskle off, so now you can see the windows and doors again. So if you could just take a look at that, you can see it's looking quite good, and the back is rather dirty, and I do like that. That's exactly what I'm going for at the back there. Yes. Okay, we're just going to give it a coat of matte coat now to lock in the colours, and then we'll get on with putting the rust, mostly on this door. Now we've got a layer of matte coat on there, we are going to take these rust colours here, and we're going to try and make the door rusty here, this little door. Might even do a little bit on those, but not very much. Okay, so this is the brush we had earlier with such nice colours on. And the matte coat is quite tacky now, so it's perfect time to begin adding these colours on. So I'm going to try and do this in a way that you can actually see. There we go. So I want them kind of like that. This door is going to be incredibly rusty. So I'm going to go for some other colours in there. More oranges and reds if possible. There we go, perfect. Perhaps a bit of yellow. Yes, that's looking rather effective indeed. Oh yes. Excellent. And of course, if we're not happy with these colours, we can change them afterwards. But I think that is rather effective. That's excellent. Nice rusty door. Perfect. Okay, now that we've done our weathering on the signal box, I'm going to do one last little touch, and that is add a little bit of greenery on there. So, to finish up the signal box here, which we've weathered, I'm going to add some woodland scenics foliage clusters in light green. We're just going to add these in various little places to simulate, you know, maybe little bits of weeds and things, or perhaps little bits of grass and stuff that's kind of accumulated over the years. And to do that, I'm just going to use a little bit of PVA adhesive. I have no idea if this stuff is any good because I've never really used it, but let's have a little try. So I'm just literally going to take a small piece out like this, and I'm just going to get a brush, this one shall do, and I'm literally going to dab areas where I would like some foliage. So of course, over the years you're going to have an amount of muck and perhaps soil gathering at the tops here. So this is the prime area where I'm going to add these little foliage clumps. So just a little dab of PVA, and then I'm literally just going to take clumps like this, and I'm going to stick it just like that. And that's perhaps a little bit too much, I think. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that away. Okay. So, like that. I think that would be ideal. So I'm just going to put a spot more of this about. And there we have it, the completed look. So what have we done to this signal box? We have covered it in dust wash, we've covered it in black wash, we've put a suitable amount of foliage in areas where I believe you would have foliage growing, and of course we've also put a nice bit of rust. I'm quite pleased with the rusty door here at the end. This will probably have a little fence next to it, so it'll be kind of an abandoned area around the side of the building. And the back of the building, of course, is suitably dirty with various marks along there. Excellent. So I will be including some graffiti on here, most likely round here and at the back. And I'll also be putting a Sandwell Junction sign here. That will be featured in a upcoming update. Until next time, this is Sandwell Junction. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please press like. Better still, leave me a comment, they're always welcome. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell for notification, because you'll be notified of all new videos as and when they go up. This is Sandwell Junction, signing off.